from thesquishymonster.com, and today I bring to you my classic recipe for beef and broccoli, except this version is homemade. You're just minutes away from tender marinated beef and crisp and vibrant broccoli. I just popped my steak into the freezer just to firm up a bit so I can cut it across the grain in thin slices easier. So to my soy sauce, I'm going to work on my sauce. To my soy sauce, I'm going to splash in some rice wine vinegar, which will help perk the sauce up, and then some sesame oil, which will lay a warm nuttiness to the sauce. And then the thick florally essence of honey, which will be a nice counterpoint for the soy base. Just drip all that in there. And then I'm going to add in the hearty and savory bit of stock. And this is just some homemade beef stock. I had some bone-in ribeye for supper the other night, so I stewed the bones just like I did for my garlic honey chicken video. So if you want to reference that, I'll provide that link. Just splash that in there. And then I'm going to grate in the aromatics of some garlic and ginger. And I keep my ginger nub in the freezer. It grates easier that way and more evenly, and that way it's ready for me whenever I need it. And then lastly, I'm going to whisk in the thickening power of some cornstarch. I just whisked in the last of my ingredients, and I'm going to set my sauce aside. Now I want to focus on my fresh broccoli florets. So I just have a few crowns, and I'm just going to cut off little pieces of it so it'll be easier to eat and bite into. I've already rinsed and patted my meat dry, and then I pop the entire thing into the freezer for it to firm up a bit, just so it's easier for me to handle. Now I particularly like flank or tenderloin for this, but some grass-fed sirloin was what was on sale at my market today, so just use whatever you like or have. And there are two things to consider when you prepare this. Number one is to cut against the grain. So you see the meat marks down this way. You want to hold your knife perpendicular to it, and then you want to make thin slices. The second thing is to make sure you bring the meat down to room temperature before you cook it. Next, you want to hit it with some freshly cracked black pepper. And I like it on a coarse grind, but that's really up to your personal preference. And then you want to submerge your beef with that marinade sauce. And if you're really pressed for time, you can let this sit for 15 minutes, but overnight, of course, is ideal. But I literally kind of just go for the 30-45 minute range myself, but 15 minutes, and it's really going to penetrate because of that salty bite of the soy, so you don't have to worry too much about it. To the bottom of my skillet, I'm going to drain some of my marinade out, and I'm going to use it to soften some of my broccoli, because for my beef, I don't want to overcook it, so I'm going to just begin to cook my broccoli florets into it. I've just tossed my broccoli just for a little while. I don't want to cook it all the way, or otherwise the broccoli will get mushy. So now I can slide in the rest of my ingredients, that marinated beef. And I have my heat setting at medium-high because I want this to happen pretty quickly. I'm not trying to braise it or kind of just mellow it out and bake it or roast it. So you want this to be kind of quick. Here is my beef and broccoli, and as you can see, my trail of my spoon, the sauce is really nicely thickened up, and it took no time at all. And now we're ready to serve and eat. So here is my supper for tonight, which is fantastic news because my tummy just began growling. And on the top I just put some frilly green onions, and I'm going to serve this with rice and kimchi. Very simple but very delicious. And let me know in the comments below what you guys are having for supper. And if you guys enjoyed this tutorial, please don't forget to share, like, and subscribe. I want to thank you guys for hanging out with me. This is Angela Kim from thesquishymonster.com, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye!